Everybody, how's it going? We have a tornado warning to discuss. I apologize for being a little bit behind. I was having a hard time getting my stuff booted up. If you'll give me just 1 second, we can go over this information together real quick. So we have a tornado warning in parts of Polk, Pike County, and Montgomery County. The actual circulation is located just south of Mena. So understandably, I don't know if the sirens are going off in Mena, but the circulation is located right here. So it's not in the city of Mena. It's not in Hatfield, Cove, or Vandervoort either. This is in southern Polk County, moving southeast at this time. If you'll give me just a moment, I can give you some more specific information about this tornado warning. I understand that some of you are going to have questions about places that are nowhere near this. I'll do my best to answer those in a moment, but for now we need to discuss this. So if you live north of Highway 278, Highway 278 runs east. I'll show you real quick. I can actually pull this over and show you guys real quick. So the tornado warning is located here. You can see the labels to the north. Tornado warning, Montgomery, Pike, Polk. Highway 278 runs from Wicks to Duckett and over towards Umpire. The tornado warning is actually to the north of you. But if for some reason you live along Highway 246, that goes all the way down to Athens and Mineola. 246 runs a long ways from Vandervoort all the way through Brushy Creek and east. So, excuse me. So for clarification, this is a pretty rural area, Caney Creek Wilderness area. I know there's probably some people who have hunted down these locations or camped. That's where this is headed. Hopefully nobody is camping in this area right now. If you are, you need to find suitable shelter immediately, a site-built structure of some kind, but no tents or anything like that. But yeah, so this is our only tornado warning in the state of Arkansas. We have thunderstorms ongoing across a large part of the state. Now, let me switch back up to my normal radar. I was hoping we would avoid tornado warnings tonight, but unfortunately, it looks like we're going to have to deal with this one for just a moment. We have storms ongoing across the state. This is the only severe thunderstorm / tornado warning at all. So for those of you asking about Van Buren, Little Rock, Jonesboro, Searcy, you might have thunderstorms ongoing, but they're just thunderstorms. They're just noisy. This is our only tornado warning at this time. Let's switch back out of the Fort Smith radar real quick. It's noisy at my house. I live not far from Fort Smith in Sebastian County, and it's noisy here. So if you hear thunder and stuff in the background and ruckus in the background, it's a noisy storm passing through here as the last bit of activity pushes through for the night. Looking at the comments, I'm not seeing a whole lot about this tornado warning. Probably rightfully so, given that it's so rural. But I do want to give everyone a heads up if you live in Daisy, Glenwood, perhaps even Amity. If you live in southern and southwest Montgomery County, certainly need to keep an eye on this. But for now, the circulation is still well in place in Polk County, south of Mena. Mena is here. The circulation from Mena is around 11 miles. So there's obviously some of you who might be watching who live near Mena, who could be dealing with this. But for those of you who have never been to Polk County, parts of Polk County is pretty rural, especially southeastern sections of the county, southwestern sections of Montgomery County with Mount Ida, Norman, and Odin and stuff. So it's headed southeast. So the circulation is here, Rachel. Here's your circulation, the area of concern, and it is moving off to the east-southeast. So headed for Pike County with time. And southwestern and extreme southern sections of Montgomery County. This will not impact Mount Ida, I don't believe. Rather, I think this is more of a concern for Daisy and Glenwood. Sarah says, what about above it? I'm not sure what you mean, Sarah. Are you talking about the storms like by Fort Smith or something? Oh, Odin. Yeah, no. No, this will not impact Odin. It's moving to the southeast. So if you live in, I don't know, I do know the sheriff of Polk County. I have not spoke with him. I don't know how they work on the tornado warnings in the cities, but if you live in Wicks or Grannis or Vandervoort, Cove, Hatfield, if the sirens are going off, I understand. It could be county-based sirens. But this circulation is moving to the southeast and away from those areas that we just talked about, Highway 71 from Mena and south. Now, this is not headed for Arkadelphia immediate, like in the immediate short term. Arkadelphia is quite a ways down here, so maybe later on this evening it could slide down in that area. But for now, it's nothing in Arkadelphia right now. Heather says, "Are we safe to go to bed in Fort Smith?" Yeah, I think you're fine to go to bed in Fort Smith. No tornadoes headed for Fayetteville. No. Lots of deer woods down there. Yeah, this is. I've never deer hunted down in this area. I've hunted in Scott County, but I've never hunted in Polk County. But I know that there's some big deer in Polk County. For those of you who are curious what we're kind of alluding to, this is a very rural part of our state, western Arkansas, the Ouachita Range. They're in Polk County, parts of Montgomery County. There's just not a whole lot of people out there. Not saying people don't live out there, but it's a fairly rural part of Arkansas. Mena is safe from this tornado warning. Yes, this is moving off to the southeast. So I can actually read you guys the text from the National Weather Service. A tornado warning. The National Weather Service in Little Rock has issued a tornado warning for northwestern Pike, central Polk County, and southwestern Montgomery County. And this goes until 9:45. It's 9:18. And yeah, that's really all they have on this. The circulation doesn't look as prominent. Earlier, I posted about this a little while ago in my comment section, referencing the tornado possible tag on this. And of course, the tornado was issued. I was having a hard time getting my computer booted up. Had some tech issues with the storms. Brooke just built a nice on Hartley. Yeah. Yeah, Hannah is just general storms. So this is not, I'm seeing some people commenting from Nashville, which is down in Howard County, south of Dierks, near Mineral Springs and whatnot. This is not in that general vicinity. This is to your north, way up in Polk County, headed towards Pike County. Yeah, somebody made a point about that. So we're watching that storm in eastern Oklahoma. The storm here, we've got Smithville here, Smithville, Oklahoma. Somebody made a comment about. This storm is to the south of that, obviously, and this is going to be moving to the east-southeast with time as well. We'll have to keep an eye on that. These storms in southwest Arkansas, and I mentioned this earlier on my live, some of these won't be here until late. Well, now it's almost 9:30, and here we are. We're dealing with storms moving into southwest Arkansas, which could carry, a low risk for tornadoes, maybe some hail or strong winds, and that's what we're dealing with here. Most of the state, though, is free of any issues. It's just thunderstorms. This is the only tornado warning at the moment. We do not have any other severe weather warnings whatsoever. We have some flash flood warnings in Sebastian County, Crawford. I lied. We actually have a severe thunderstorm warning that was just issued out of Oklahoma that extends into Sebastian County, so Hackett, Bonanza, Hartford. And this looks like it's just a concern for strong winds, perhaps some hail. This is moving to the east near Red Oak and LaFleur, headed for southern Sebastian County. So my neck of the woods. It's noisy outside right now. But yeah, this is the only tornado warning at this time. Hopefully the only one of the night. We can hope. And it's due to the circulation right here. We can look at the debris tracker and see if there's much. I don't see a whole lot there. This storm has kind of been rotating for quite a while. Over the last 30 to 45 minutes, it's kind of been acting up. It's pretty weak rotation, but certainly I can understand why the National Weather Service went ahead and pulled the trigger on a warning. So, yeah, Dylan. Mainly flooding and wind, yep. Gary, I think you're fine in Russellville, yeah. Yeah, guys, I promise. There's obviously, if you live in South Arkansas where it hasn't stormed at all today, or in Southwest Arkansas, folks, if you live in Central Arkansas, Eastern Arkansas, this is not a night where I think you need to be up all night frantic about the weather. That doesn't mean that you won't have some noisy storms or something like that, but if you get a warning on your phone and you're sleeping and you wake up, you can hop on here and see what I have posted or if I'm live for tornado warnings. So it's noisy storms, though, that's for sure. These storms that are moving through where I live are pretty nasty. We've had a couple of rounds tonight. A lot of thunder, a lot of lightning, of course, heavy rain. Got a little bit windy at times. But good to hear. I'm glad you made it safe. But just to go over this one more time, I know a lot of people are just now joining. The real concern here as far as commuting, obviously you can go north out of Langley up towards Albert, the Albert Pike Recreation Area, Highway 369 goes north out of Langley. And then, of course, Highway 246 runs north out of Athens. Give me 1 second, guys. I want to make sure I give you guys the right information here. Yeah, okay. You go north on Highway 278 too as well, up towards Umpire here at the Y, which is not in the tornado warning, but if you live northeast of there on Highway 84 near Athens and up to the north, and then, like we mentioned earlier, Highway 246, this does include your area. So I know it's a rural area, guys, but I try my best to treat this just like I would a big city, because I feel like these people deserve every bit of attention that big cities do. So, sorry, I'm not trying to pause and scare anyone. I'm just trying to make sure I give you guys the correct roadway information. There's not a lot of roads out where this area is. If you're just now joining, we have a tornado warning in Polk, Pike, and Montgomery County. If you don't live in Polk, Pike, or Montgomery County, you have no tornado warnings and no concerns at this time. Doesn't mean you won't be observing some thunderstorms this evening, but you have no tornado warnings at this time. And as soon as I said that, it looks like the National Weather Service canceled that warning. So it looks like the warning was fairly brief, and I don't disagree with them canceling the warning. I think this circulation is pretty weak. It's certainly something to keep an eye on, but it was stronger earlier rather than now. It looks pretty broad at this time. But while we're here, I guess we can go ahead and go over a quick update. Did some updates earlier. I was already in my comfy chair chilling. Got my hair all messed up, put on my comfy shirt. So I had to put my professional shirt back on and throw a hat on for the evening. Guys, we have thunderstorms ongoing across a large part of the state tonight. If you haven't observed thunderstorms yet, you likely will over the next few hours. That includes South Arkansas. You know what? We can actually go over the forecast for tomorrow because we have more storms tomorrow. So we'll go over that in just a second after I update you guys with all of this. Just for clarification, for those who are just now joining, I'm here because we had a tornado warning in Polk County. That tornado warning has been canceled. The only severe thunderstorm in the state at this time, as far as a warning goes, is in Sebastian County, so south of Fort Smith. Places like Hackett, Hartford, Mansfield, soon to be Mansfield, I guess, Bonanza. And it's due to this storm moving through LaFleur County, Oklahoma. So this storm right here, and it's moving off to the east. Kind of just jumbled up with all this mess in here. We have flooding concerns in this part of the state. We got a lot of storms in central Arkansas too, but these storms are just really noisy. And we also have some storms in eastern Arkansas too, moving through the I-40 area towards Memphis. Headed for Hot Springs, Benton. These are just noisy storms with plenty of rain, thunder. So let's go over the forecast for tomorrow real quick too. For those of you who are committed and actually watching this, I'll have an update in the morning too on what you can expect. This eventually will clear out. This is tomorrow morning, Wednesday. We could have storms continuing in the morning. Like white as a ghost because these white screens. We have storms expected tomorrow morning. This is 8 a.m. through 10 a.m. So south of I-40 really seems to be highlighted tomorrow as this system continues through the region. And that could continue into the afternoon hours. This is 1 p.m. on Wednesday. So if you live south of Little Rock, your chances for rain and storms are much higher tomorrow. And that should clear out by tomorrow evening. I'll be honest, I haven't looked at this a whole lot for tomorrow. Hopefully we can avoid any more severe weather concerns tomorrow evening. I don't see much there. That makes me happy. But obviously tomorrow evening we could have some stragglers as this system continues to try to exit the region. But really I think that first half of the day, middle part of the day, areas south of Little Rock, down toward the Louisiana state line, southwest and southeastern Arkansas will have the highest rain and thunderstorm chances on Wednesday, September 24th. So I suppose I can answer a couple of questions while I'm here and then I'm getting off for the night. Hopefully and not have to get back on. So, can Royal go to sleep? Work is coming super early. Yeah, I think you're going to be okay in Royal. I also have to leave early in the morning. I'm going to Little Rock to do an interview with Nathan Scott at THV 11 in Little Rock. So, I'm going to go see somebody, a friend of mine in Conway, and then go to Little Rock. Yeah, Greenbrier's okay, Zach. Pretty loud here in Boonville. All my kids came running in and jumped in my bed. Well, enjoy that while you have it, because one of these days they won't be doing that. My kiddos are the same way when we have storms. I think you're okay in Boonville, by the way. Just noisy storms. Could be severe, of course. We have some severe storms in South Sebastian County right now. Yeah, Tammy, I think Alma's going to be okay. It's just noisy storms. Grace, yeah, I think Springdale's going to be just fine. The only severe warning whatsoever is in South Sebastian County. Everything else is just noisy. Luna, yeah, I think Truman's going to be fine. Yeah, Sarah, I think you're going to be fine. That doesn't mean, folks, I just want to preface this. If I tell you, hey, you can go to sleep, everything's going to be fine, I'm speaking with hopefully with a little bit of grace here in the fact that you could still observe thunderstorms overnight. But I truly think our severe weather risk is rapidly waning. I'm honestly a little surprised we had the tornado warning that we did. But that's possible through the night hours tonight, too. We could have a few storms that get a little bit cranky, especially in South Arkansas, where we haven't had a whole lot of activity today. Taylor, it's storming in the Hot Springs area, Garland County now. So we'll just have to keep an eye on that. Lacey Shrum says, I missed what you said about Greenwood. Is it just noisy? Well, yeah, South Sebastian County is technically under severe thunderstorm warning. It does not include the city of Greenwood yet. But overall, yes, it's just noisy storms. Lots of rain, thunder, and lightning. These storms are continuing to kind of build into the region of western Arkansas and eventually southwest Arkansas. This was expected. Storms in central Arkansas also continuing as well. Katie, no, I wouldn't say there's a high chance for hail. I'm not saying a hail is not possible, but as far as like significant, very large hail, I feel like that would be pretty localized. It's not a high chance. Yeah, let me switch out a Little Rock real quick. Bronson's Adventures says, how is Polk County? Well, you're good now. We had a tornado warning a few minutes ago, but that storm is moving off to the southeast towards Pike and Montgomery County, southwest Montgomery County. Yeah, Caitlin, I'm not expecting a whole lot of tornado problems in Charleston tonight. I did see that there were some flooding concerns, though, in Charleston. The tornado risk for the entire state is very low for the rest of the night, guys. So it doesn't really matter where you live. I would say it's a 1 or 2 out of 10. So not a 0. I'm not saying it can't happen, but just it's a lower risk. I'm not expecting anything too crazy. Miranda, just the general thunderstorms that are moving through the area now. Nothing of concern at this time. Yeah, absolutely, Rachel. I don't mind answering the questions. If it makes you guys sleep better and I can help, then I would love to help. So, but I'll be honest. I am getting tired. It's been a long day. And I'm about ready to go eat a snack and go to bed because I got to go to Little Rock in the morning. I'll have updates in the morning, too, about our thunderstorm chances on Wednesday, but I'll probably skip posting about that tonight. I've posted a bunch today. Cameron says, I wonder why we didn't see as much rotation in the river valley. Storms were too messy. Storms gusted out. That cool air undercuts the storms, prevents them from being surface-based, Cameron, and we just end up with windy, noisy hailer storms. So that was my concern from the start, that messy storm mode is a killer for tornadoes, and I'm not complaining. Kara says, I'm too tired. Haha, NWA anything. I can't rule out thunderstorms tonight, but as far as widespread severe weather, no, I don't think so. In northwest Arkansas. Looks like most of it's starting to move south of you anyways. Yeah, I know. We've only had one tornado warning. I mean, that's a super thankful for that. Jordan Hall, my wife, says, what's the snack? I don't know. Some popcorn sounds good. Some popcorn? Yeah, that sounds pretty good. Y'all didn't think I'd be on here talking about popcorn, did you? I'm hungry. Me too, Carissa. Carissa, if you're in Central Arkansas, I think you're fine to go to bed. Gina says, thank you, 1312 Cleaning and Restoration, for sponsoring tonight's live. Yes, thank you to 1312 for sponsoring. They've sponsored my stuff for months now. They're amazing people. Guys, if you have flooding and stuff, issues, restoration, storm damage, call 1312. They sponsor me every single month. They're local to Arkansas, too. They're incredible people. Joe, I saw that about the flooding in Charleston. I hope everybody's okay. That's not too far down the road from me. I haven't got a lot of reports on it, like pictures or anything, which it's also dark and people aren't worried about sending me pictures, but I hope everybody's okay. Okay, guys. All right, I'm going to hop off. I'll be up for a while. If we have, of course, more tornado warnings, I'll be sure to hop back on. Hopefully we don't have that tonight. But continue to monitor. Guys, if you live in Arkansas, obviously northwest, north central Arkansas starting to clear out some. But if you live south of Little Rock, there's a good chance you're going to have storms overnight and tomorrow too. I'll have an update on that in the morning. So hopefully everybody has a fantastic night.